Well, good afternoon, everyone. Leland Live on your radio, brought to you with April Murray here. And I will be here for, let's see, I'll be here today, obviously. And then all next week. And then most of the next week after that. Leland will come back on Thursday. I am so grateful for Valerie Vining letting me come fill in. So if you're up in those early mornings and you're listening to Valerie and Richard and you are so inclined, send her a message on the text line. Tell her, thank you for letting me come in because I am forever grateful for that. There is a long line of people who want to sit behind this mic, and I get the privilege of doing so. And it is not lost upon me that this is a privilege, and I absolutely love it. Okay, so I started to say this before talking about the primaries. We had the lieutenant governor primary runoff. I'm sorry, where it was Wes Allen versus John Wall, and I almost don't feel like they were even in the same race. Like I don't know what Wes Allen was running against John's name. He was running against the fact John walked into a mosque at one point. He was running against at some point. Let's see if you can follow this. John's fiance's pet raccoon. Now, I will go on the record here and say that I believe Charlie, or some version of Charlie, should be the official lieutenant governor mascot. Okay. If you did not see John Wall's election night speech, I encourage you to go online and find it because it's hysterical. They actually brought a stuffed animal raccoon, and it was there on the podium as John did his acceptance speech. And way to roll with the punches on that one because that was ridiculous. That was probably the race that was just the weirdest. The U.S. Senate race, where we had and I know very legitimate. Actually, as a matter of fact, the most legitimate arguments about Congressman Barry Moore's time in the military came from Leland. There was a clip of Leland talking to Barry Moore about his military experience. AJ, you were here for that.
Mm-hmm.
That was the clip. I feel like if the state had focused on the conversation between Leland and Barry Moore, we might have had a different result today. Things got all sorts of sideways with people going into a lot of the technical stuff of that. Me as a voter, me as a news person, I was like, wait, you guys are all over here digging into DOJ definitions and talking about, just mountains of evidence. I just want to hear, like, Leland asked a question about his service. He answered it, and that didn't match the records. It shouldn't have been more complicated than that. But, whoa, buddy, did it get more complicated than that? And I feel like if we really could be in a different place right now if somebody had said, okay, let's concentrate on what was said versus what the records show. It got into all sorts of muckety-muck. It got into, is Barry Moore's people threatening to sue? Which, by the way, look, Campaign 101. Here's one of the most elementary. Now, I've learned from some really, really, really great general consultants over the years, okay? I have played different roles in different campaigns probably throughout my adult life. Volunteered on a number of them, done communications for a number of them. I've been a campaign manager. I've been the person who is like the body person. You travel around with the candidate, try to keep them on time and try to help them pick up checks when they're fundraising. I have been the person who organized yard sign volunteers when I was just itty bitty thing straight out of college. I was, would ride around in a rented van and do yard signs deliveries. So I've been there. I've done that. One of the most fundamental parts of being on a campaign is do no harm. Under no circumstances should the people working on campaigns cost votes. And I feel like there were times in the runoff election for U.S. Senate where the staffers themselves or their behavior or their whatever cost a candidate votes. That's a rookie error. And we saw it on both sides. So my postmortem on the U.S. Senate race was we had two great candidates. And things spiraled in a way that we didn't talk about what their differences was. Here's what we're going to end up with in Alabama. and I don't know that voters really recognize this, what we're going to end up with, and this is a good problem to have, mind you, but what we're going to end up with for a very long time coming are two candidates that will vote nearly identical every time. That's what we're going to have. We're going to have two candidates who are going to vote nearly identical every single time. What you have to look at when you're looking at these candidates are what is going to be their driving issues. And are they going to move things forward? Are they going to get ahead of issues? Everybody knows this about me. If you've heard me on the radio more than once or twice, I am a 2-issue voter. Used to be a 1-issue voter. Used to be a single issue Second Amendment voter. I would look at all of the candidates' records on Second Amendment, and that would be how I voted. Then life changed, evolved, politics changed, evolved, and we ended up in this world where we actually have to consider not only where they are on constitutional issues, but where are they on common sense issues? Are they going to protect girls' sports from boys? Are they going to protect women and girls' spaces, locker rooms, bathrooms, all of those things from boys? Are we going to allow transgender madness to infect our schools? And that's what it is, okay? Let me just say, happy Pride Month. I'm going to tell you, you cannot become a woman if you are a man. Shocking, I know. No, you can't. And this has no place in our schools. Doctors should not be able to sterilize young children. Why? Why do I have to say those words? Why does a candidate have to talk about those words? And yet it's incredibly important. So to me, I went from a 1-issue voter, where are you on the Second Amendment, and how aggressive are you going to be to protect my rights? It's not enough, and gosh, my heart, love Bama Carey, okay? If you're not a member of Bama Carey, check it out. I promise you, if you're Gun Owners of America, you're NRA, this is not a paid advertisement. I'm just a member of Bama Carey. If you care about what's happening in our state and you want to be informed, check out Bama Carey. But it's not enough just to vote against bad bills when they come up or have them not taken down. We want people who are going to actively protect our rights. And when things are wrong, work to undo them. So when I'm looking at candidates, when I'm looking at Barry Moore and Jared Hudson, and I'm like, what are they going to do? Because a voting record isn't enough. Have you sponsored legislation? Are you going to aggressively protect rights? Are you going to aggressively go after and undo things that the Biden administration or the Obama administration did? How are you going to work with the Trump administration to roll back regulations and roll back rules? It's actually been over the last several weeks, and we'll get into this because there was a Supreme Court decision just this week on the Second Amendment. We'll get into that a little bit later. But where are you on that? That was a really cool thing to watch when they're talking about the issues, a difference between Barry Moore and Jared Hudson. Jared Hudson's like, hey, I am going to get out there and I'm going to be solid on this. The gun groups were split between Barry Moore and Jared Hudson. But what was important was what they were saying. What were they answering on their questionnaire? What were they going to do proactively? So I really liked that part of the campaign. There aren't going to be, moving forward, there aren't going to be, when you look at candidates, there's never going to be a candidate that's like, oh yeah, I'm going to be the moderate one. Because you don't run and win in Alabama being a moderate anymore, or at least I hope not. At least I hope not. No more Richard Shelbys, no more Kay Ivies of the world. No, we want solid conservatives. And if you look at who we had in these primary elections, they were solid conservatives. So then you get into personality. You get into what are they going to do? You get into what is their wheelhouse going to be? We knew what Katie Britt, you looked at a Katie Britt and Mo Brooks. Look at that race. We knew what Mo Brooks was going to be. He was going to be a firebrand. He was going to be a, Mr. No Vote. And Katie styled herself more as Richard Shelby, and she was going to be focused on bring that BCA experience. What happened? When Katie Britt got in, she did exactly what she said she was going to do. She is the business side of things. I think that it's going to be either one would have been a good compliment to Katie, but I think Barry Moore, Katie, is going to be a little bit more like a Katie and a Tuberville. Tuberville and Katie are very, very different U.S. senators. They run with different crowds. They represent us in different ways. They show up in the media in different ways. They show up at committee hearings different ways. You could not have gone wrong with either of those candidates. I know a lot of veterans who are upset about the way that veterans conversation thing played out, but I have no doubt Barry Moore is going to represent us well in Washington, D.C., in the U.S. Senate. He's done that in the House already. I'm really hoping that the candidates the people who are on the teams after you take a break, I know especially how personal these races can feel, but I hope moving forward that we're all able to go, okay, common enemy. And moving forward after these midterms, we've got a common enemy and we've got a common goal in getting things done, especially when it comes to Washington, D.C. We've got a common enemy in the people who are actively trying to undo or stop the Trump administration. We've got a common goal of getting things legislatively passed that Trump has done through an executive way, so that the next liberal president to come in, so that they can't come in and undo the good things Trump has done. All right, I've talked myself right into a break here. AJ's on the phone, so we'll go to one in just a minute. But it is going to be, after these midterm elections, it's going to be crazy time in DC. I will talk about, probably not today, but I'll talk a little bit about the special elections and kind of the madness. We don't have as much happening here in Central Alabama with the seats that are up, even with the seats that are up in special election. But I will talk about that a little bit in these midterms. You guys hold tight. April Murray here, filling in for Leland. in
Either I see you eating, lip singing, dancing.
This is a good song.
I guess I was feeling a little lucky.
Good afternoon,
Does
everyone.
it really take you back to like your childhood?
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah.
I bet you had like big hair back in
What
them
year?
days.
I got big hair today.
Well, I mean, but your hair is like more flat. I'm talking about hairspray.
Oh,
You know.
Okay. So I'll tell you. So I have the most wonderful children. I'm knock on wood. I am so incredibly blessed. You've met my 13-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
My 13-year-old who is. I just, everybody warned me, oh, those tween and teenage years. She is amazing. She's wonderful. The things we fight about are so trivial compared to things that I see my friends having trouble with their
But she
kids
knows who
about.
her mama is. That's probably the reason why she don't want to.
Yeah, she was telling me a kid she knows was caught with a vape, and with the reason the parents were in the room is because the kid was her age, 13, 14-year-old kid, was sneaking out to see a boyfriend the parents didn't know they had. My daughter and I, we argue over which of us is going to control the big TV and who's going to, pick the music in the car when we're running to get her brothers, whether or not she's done enough typing because she's homeschooled. Like, our fights are so trivial. I mean, her stealing my clothes.
How long has she been 13? When was her birthday?
January.
Okay, so she's still in that the little, like, still not really she's an official teenager, but not a teenager yet. But wait till about maybe 15.
It's so crazy. But I'm so blessed. But the reason what brought this up is my middle child. He has my hair. He has my everything. He's just like my daughter. People say looks like me, but then you look at my middle son, you're like, oh, yeah, that's the boy version of you.
Right.
And I just bought a mousse. And I remember, because he has curly hair, he has my curly hair. If I were to, straight out of the shower, scrunch this with some product, I would have this, 1990s Faith Hill.
You should bring it. You should bring that back.
I should bring one day.
No. Like next week. You should bring it up. Just come up in
here
it in your original hairdo, hair sprayed up like you straight, and I will play all the 90s. 80s, 90s country.
Oh my goodness!
Crunchy
curl hair. Yeah, it's.
And then you gotta have like a flannel shirt on.
Always.
And like the really Dockers jeans or something like that. Or,
my Doc Marten boots.
Yes.
I had those. I did have those, and those actually when I had my motorcycle days. I had a motorcycle in college. Those were my go-to. But I might actually take you up on that because I did buy my son some mousse, and watching him scrunch his hair and me trying to scrunch his hair for him, I was like, whew, I just had some kind of deja vu.
Yeah.
Back, I was born in '81, so like mid '90s, we were still doing the hair scrunching thing.
Oh man, if you brought your childhood picture, and if I could find some of my childhood picture, I was born in '80, so. I had a nice little box.
Nice, very nice.
My brother had an actual bowl cut. Like the guy actually took a bowl, put over his head, and then shaved his sides bald, and it almost like a mushroom.
Oh dear.
It was horrible.
Do you have those photos?
I don't know if I have some like when I was really young. I mean, I have one. There's a picture of me and my dad, which I need to post up for Father's Day. And I still have that, but I was like. Maybe one or two, and I had a little afro. But then there was one, I believe I was in 5th grade, and I had the box, and I had a nice little part
very nice.
in my hairstyle. So yeah, it was good.
Well, I'll consider. I mean, we can't get any different than whatever's happening here. But those were some days.
I just want to see how much hairspray you can put in your hair.
Oh.
And
yeah,
I know you got the lights in there, but I just don't want to start no fire in there.
It's a hazard. Thank goodness James is on vacation.
Burning, like, oh my gosh, who got hairspray in here?
Aquanet. I bet. Do they still sell Aquanet hairspray?
Probably. You probably get it on Amazon.
I only have the brushable hairspray these days, but like the real you can see the crisp in it. That's what that music takes me back to. By the way,
it was starch for your hair.
That's what it was. It was a whole mood. Yeah. All right, we've got James on the line. We went into the commercial break talking about the Senate elections. James has some thoughts about that race. Hey, James.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good.
Thank you for taking my call.
Thanks for calling in. What's up?
So at the original primary, the two top vote getters, I was like, this is awesome. We've got two people that would vote identically.
Yep.
And both of them will vote exactly as I would vote. So I was like really excited about it. And then lo and behold, yes. And then this slinging started. And the cool thing about it was I could block one of them completely. I just didn't follow his social medias, and I didn't hear any negative ads about the other guy. Not a single one. Not a single one.
Wow.
And then, but man, I couldn't get away from any of the negative ads about the other one. Jared Hudson.
That was a mess.
I know this isn't true. I'm sure there's a nugget of truth somewhere in there, but I know this isn't true. Jared Hudson is somebody I know to be a solid dude,
Yep.
Somebody that I would love to have over at my house. I'm closing on the house on Thursday. He's the kind of guy I would love to have at my house at the housewarming party, Likewise, I believe that Barry Moore is somebody that I would love to have over at my house, except for all the horrible, ugly garbage I heard from his campaign during the last 3 weeks. It was like I couldn't escape it. It was on all my streaming services. It was on my radio. It was everywhere.
It was everywhere.
And I was like, oh, that absolutely decides who I'm voting for,
Well, just
because
I think that's happened for most
of them.
Are
bad people.
I'm
sorry?
I don't know if you heard me say this. One of the hallmarks of campaigning as a campaign staffer is do no harm. And I feel like the staff behind the scenes, is some of the people running the ads and stuff, they harmed their candidates. Like, Barry Moore's a nice guy, but those ads were brutal. And you're going, like you said, there's a hint of truth here.
That's not something a nice guy would say about another Christian brother,
Yeah, it was kind of it was excessively aggressive and character. Yeah, it was a mess. Well, thanks for calling in, James. I appreciate it.
And thanks for taking my call. God bless you. Have a wonderful night.
Thank you. All right, April Marie here for Leland. Phone lines are open. Back in just a minute. Okay, it took all I had not to try to hit that high note, but I love you guys. Okay, I have too much respect for you. Now, if you ever get in a vehicle with me, I would like you to know I try, and I miss it, and I butcher it every single time, but I absolutely do it. Thankfully, there's not a lot of people watching on the YouTube right now, so they not many people got to see that lip sync. But yes, we do have a YouTube, and I am a totally different kind of viewing situation than Leland is. I love Leland's setup, though. Not gonna lie, I do. Yeah. The guitars and the whole his studio's rocking. Did I hear that he has now worked up a studio in the RV?
Yes.
So this is going to be a whole different experience.
It's going to be a whole nother ball game.
Are you ready for this road trip extravaganza?
Yeah. The first time he did it, it was a little stressful. Right. But as time progresses and the more and more we do it, it's fun. And it also gives me an opportunity to see things that I've never thought about actually seeing. So it's pretty cool.
I got to talk to Jessica a little bit about it when what was that? That was Jawbone. Was it
Jawbone Jail?
Yeah, Jawbone Jail. My first one. My first Jawbone Jail.
That was your first one?
Yeah.
Oh.
I've done a bunch of the Christmas part.
Right. Because you've been in it.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, although we didn't do the skits this year. We didn't do a Richard skit, which
no. I don't think I can't remember.
I'm a little salty about that.
Yeah, I don't even remember what we did.
Yeah.
It was for the past. It's been a blur.
Yeah, they just all blend together. There's a Charlie Brown one at one point.
Yeah, that was about John Bird.
There was a couple. So I've been in. I think I've been in 2, maybe 3.
Mm-hmm.
But we didn't do one. I'm hoping we bring it back. I actually, I came very close at the last one that we were doing skits at to doing a lip sync to All I Want for Christmas Is My Own Show. I was able to get on AI and one of those really cool platforms that lets you create your own music and put in lyrics and create my own 99.5 song. So I'm hoping we bring back the skits for no other reason than people can actually see me lip sync, because that's a whole different experience. You don't want me singing, but lip syncing, it's very entertaining. But no, my Jawbone Jam was great. Here's a fun fact, and I don't know if I showed it to you then, but I had on what's called a Holter sensor thing. I don't know, a heart rate monitor basically. And I'd just gotten it on the day of Jawbone Jam, and I was really self-conscious about it because everything I own, you could see it, because I've been having a little bit of a weird heart rate situation. All under control. We're good. I'm not going to keel over right here on air. But I went to Jawbone Jam, and so I wasn't there that long. But it was a good time. I love meeting the listeners. I love watching everybody kind of interact. So those are my favorite. 99.5 listeners are just great. Speaking of which, I mentioned earlier, it is Father's Day weekend, guys. I know everybody's all excited about Juneteenth and all that comes with that, and the days off from work and all the things. But don't forget to get your Father's Day gifts. It is 3:38 on a Friday before it.
And can we do some as a dad? Don't get me wrong. I don't mind like the ties and the mugs and the tools.
Right.
Sometimes we just want to just do nothing.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? Just let us sit.
Plan to order in.
Yeah.
Or get food to go, or just let Dad have a day off.
Just like nope. I don't want to hear it.
Yep.
You figure it out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Cruise control, right. Dad's day. I like it. And that's what I was saying. It's like, what can we give dads
peace of mind.
Yes. So I've got the 3D printer. So for my kid's dad's birthday, which was just a couple weeks ago, we 3D printed him. I went through, I'm scrolling the page of all the different things we can 3D print Dad for his birthday. And my 7-year-old, in case you're curious about his personality, he was like, that right there. We printed hand grenades, and they're great. I had gotten this beautiful dark green to make some refrigerator magnets on. So we got they're very realistic looking.
You know what? I need to put in a request for you to make me something.
Oh yes.
Yeah. So I have these beaded necklace.
Oh yeah.
And I don't really have a place to really kind of place them.
Okay. I'm on it.
I have my little, I have a makeshift jewelry box, but I need something to kind of let them kind of sit.
Do you want something that hangs with a hook that you can hang them on, or do you want a stand? I'm going to give you some options.
Yeah, I would love like to have a stand and then have like a hook on it.
On it, yeah.
Then I can just kind of place them. So then.
So I'm still on it.
Because I have like a couple of them.
Okay.
And I could just, put them on there. And then whatever I want to wear,
you just take it.
I just take it, boom. And
you know what? I already have in my head because I've looked up some things to put my rosaries on. I collect rosaries. This is my thing, and I think I've talked about this on there.
Because I tried to use the one that you gave me last time for like the headphones.
Oh, the headphones one, yeah.
Right, but it's not tall enough
for the necklaces.
For the necklaces.
Oh yeah, no, we can get one specific for that, but and it will be very similar to the one I found to do my rosaries on. By the way, if there's any listeners who are going to Europe or going out of the country, I collect them. And Jessica brought me something from the last trip they went to Italy. And Cam Ward, who I might have in here, I'm at least going to have him on the phone, but he got me one blessed by the Pope. And I'm just collecting them from around the world, and they bring joy to my heart. I can use one of those models to make you something for your necklace. And your birthday was just recent, too, right?
Mm-hmm. Like it was on the 12th.
So, yeah, belated birthday on it. Do you have a favorite color?
Green.
Green, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got some greens.
So I like and green and earth tone. I like a good earth tone type of color. But I mean, honestly, it really don't matter because ain't nobody gonna really see it. But I just want to just have something that kind of just will be kind of clean and seamless where I can just place it and
and a little. I'm on it.
It'd be kind of cool if it can rotate, but I'm probably asking too much.
Okay, well we'll see what we can find. No, I'm so JD has the 3D printer, one of the 3D printers. Have I told you this?
Mm-hmm.
So I broke it. I broke my son's 3D printer. For those who didn't know, Santa brought my son a 3D printer, and Mama took it over. So while he's at school, I print away, and I managed to break it. And then I managed to fix the thing I broke. And while I was fixing the thing I broke, I broke another thing, and it started a whole spiral. And so I ended up having to take it to JD. And I just gave him the part to fix it, so I'm sure it's on the mend. But of course, I give it to JD right before he goes out of town, so we're not going to get it back for another week or two.
Well, he's not. He's not out of town.
Oh, okay. Well,
it's inside joke. I'll tell you off here.
Sorry, I don't know what to talk about.
Yeah.
So yes. So I can't be trusted. I can't be trusted. You got to tell me off the record, people.
You and Will, boy. I tell you, I just tell everybody's business.
I know. Okay. So I am. It's going to be a whole thing, but we're going to have 2 3D printers going, and I am obsessed. And these things are like plug and play. Like these, I don't know if you know how easy 3D printers are now compared to what they used to be. First off, they're relatively inexpensive. Not much more than a regular printer you would print anything off of, if you're printing a document or whatever. Now you can 3D print, and it's a whole thing. Okay, let's see where I am. I guess I've got a couple more minutes. You know what I'm going to do before I go to this break? So I told you guys, if you missed early on in the show, I told you guys that I was going to highlight each of my fathers. And I know, it's weird. This is the world we live in. But I have 3 fathers. My mom was married 3 times. My biological dad was my mom's high school sweetheart. And then, of course, they got divorced before either of them would have graduated high school. Neither of them graduated high school, but that's neither here nor there. And then my mom married my stepdad, who adopted me, gave me the name Fogel, April Marie Fogel. I don't actually say my whole name, but that's what it is. And so he adopted me, and incredible father. And then my mom married my stepdad and was married to him for over 30 years until he passed away. So I talked a little bit about my daddy, Rodney. He was the one who taught me my work ethic. He worked 2 or 3 jobs at any given time. He did pizza delivery. He did, shout out again to Mike, my pizza delivery guy. He did pizza delivery. He stocked shelves at Walmart and at grocery stores. Later, he ran luggage. This was the hardest working man I have ever met. This man wasn't sitting in an office somewhere, nothing against sitting in an office somewhere, but he wasn't sitting in an office. He was out there moving all day, every day, back pain and this strain and that strain, and that's what he was doing. And I learned so much from him. He was also the father that said, buck up. Don't let some man break your heart. You got this. He's the one who put me, much to my mother's chagrin, we didn't tell her this till many years later. He put me on a Greyhound bus. When I went to college, I took a Greyhound bus to college because we were that broke. And it was a whole situation. So that was my daddy, Rodney. Then my daddy John, which is what gave me the name Fogel, he was my Eeyore. He talked really slow and with a deep country accent, and he was gonna baby me, and he was the one who was just, I talked to him, every day. You're over there smiling. Yeah. So I was very blessed with fathers who were just wonderful, loving, caring guys. And I want to encourage you, take the time. I have lost all of my fathers, you guys. And I'm only 45 years old. They were only in their 60s. You never know. So take the time to tell them you love them. Take the time to honor them. Even if it's they're not into gifts and you don't know what to get them or whatever, make sure they know how meaningful they have had and what impact they have had on your life. Take the time. Sit down and think about it. When you're driving home this afternoon, take the time to think about what the impact your father had on your life. And if you are a man, think about the impact you want to have on your kids' lives. We do not do enough to honor the importance of the role of fatherhood in this country. And I think, I talk a lot about these leftist kids. I talk a lot about these the purple-haired, nose-ringed kids. When I look at these kids, I always think my heart breaks for their mother. But then I think, where is their father? What is happening here? When I see these girls competing against boys, I'm like, why are the men, the team on the teams, the fathers of those teams, why are they not stepping up and blocking the locker room? Why are they not protecting the girls? We gotta appreciate and respect our strong fathers. All right, I'm going to take a quick commercial break and see what kind of trouble AJ got me into.
I didn't get you in trouble. You got yourself in trouble.
No.
I didn't. Hey.
All right, back in just a second. I got myself in trouble. Okay, back in just a second. You guys are listening to Leland Live with April Marie. proceed with caution. And I said, hey, pretty lady, won't you give me a sign? I won't do it. Be at your beck and call. You got to say beck and call with the accent. I will tell you, I remember it like it was yesterday, playing that song on repeat so that I could learn the words. There's that one, and then I will tell you, I saw something within the last couple days about like our memories and what age back you remember. Do you have know what year you can look back and you can be like, I remember everything from that year forward? Like middle school or high school where you're like, I can remember all my high school friends. I can remember what I did. I would say mine is pretty much middle school. Sixth grade, I can, I had like my best friends because I'm from a small town in Florida. So we had gone to everything from, grade school, middle school, high school, all together. So about sixth grade is when I think my real friend group stuck in. And I remember my sixth grade best friend, Madonna, I won't say her last name, but Madonna was her name, came from a Catholic family. And Madonna and I sat on the floor with with tape cassettes. And you remember they had the lyrics like in the paper insert and learning the lyrics of songs. That's where you're taking me back to, by the way. the days of learning.
Yeah, I remember. I missed that when the cassette tapes used to have the words to the songs for each song that was on the cassette, yeah. Or even even the CDs had. Well, some of the CDs had that as well too.
I remember Brooks and Dunn in pieces, sitting like crisscross applesauce on Madonna's floor. Learning the lyrics to Garth Brooks in pieces. I wonder what year that was. I don't even know. Those were the good old days. And then my mom would buy cassettes that we were like, what is this? And you would have to take the piece of paper, and you could take the piece of paper and put it in the little hole at the top of the cassette if you wanted to dub over the cassette. And so we would do that. Do you remember that? Do you have any idea what I'm talking about? The cassettes that you weren't supposed to be able to tape over, but there was just a little hole in the top to prevent you from doing it. Those were the good old days. Kids these days will never know those days. And then I like to tell my kids when we talk about how old I am, because of course, we're older than Google. We're long before, cell phones were a thing. I had a pager at one point where you had to talk in code in numbers. But I don't know what I would have done if I wasn't a police explorer, because me and my friends knew 10 codes. And so and my 10 codes are rusty. One of my friends over at Homewood PD, who has my text, somebody text me and tell me, I think 1051 used to be en route, would be like 1051, 1042 would be like en route home. And we could text each other in 10 codes on our pagers. And it was a whole thing. But yes, that was my high school nerdy days. But all of these things are going to be just foreign to our kids, because now that it's so easy for them just to get in touch and all of those things. Okay, we are having a Father's Day Friday here as I talk a little bit about my fathers. Plural, it's so weird. Talk a little bit, but we really, I want you guys all to take the time to appreciate those father figures. I grew up with friends who, came from broken homes and their fathers weren't around. And so, the father-like figures in your life or in your kid's life, make sure to take a time to appreciate them today. Our society would be so much better, so much stronger if every child had their father in their home stepping up and doing that role. Big fan. I am a big fan of gender roles. Oh boy, does that just aggravate the heck out of some people. And I'll say it. There is a role. I had this conversation. I wrote a piece for AL.com about this. Don't tell the single mothers in your life, Happy Father's Day. The single mothers aren't fulfilling the role of a father, because only a man can do that. You honor the women who are doing it alone, but they are not doing the role of a man, because only a man can be a father. Okay, with that, I'm going to go to the phone lines. We've got Jamie on the line. Hey, Jamie.
Yes, my father was a daddy. He was my daddy.
Your father?
He is my daddy. He's still alive. he worked a steady job. I mean, a great job. He worked at 3M for 42 years.
Oh, we got a little bit of a bad connection here.
I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
He worked at 3M for 42 years, and he taught me and my brother how to work. He worked 2 jobs. He always had 2 jobs. He worked at a factory, and he always had a cleaning company. Him and my mother. My mother was a barber, and she's retired now, and both of them still live. And my mother was a mama, and they done everything for us, and they just. And I tried to be that for my kids. And I've got 3, 2 boys, and a daughter, 16-year-old, who was about to drive me crazy.
You've hit that tipping point.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. My 2 boys are married, and my youngest boy is having a baby of his own now.
Aww.
To be a papa to a granddaughter, and I couldn't be happier. But my daddy, he has worked all his life for us to be.
I love that for you, Jamie. Jamie, I apologize. We went right into a commercial break, and we had a terrible connection. If you want to call back, do that, and maybe we'll get a better connection.
Yeah.
But happy Father's Day to you,
I'm so
Jamie.
sorry. I'm so sorry.
Oh, don't apologize at all.
Yeah.
That happens all the time. All right, guys, we are going to be back on the flip side. Hold tight. April Marie here, filling in for Leland.